Hello everybody. Today I thought I'd just bring you a reasonably quick review of my latest acquisition, which is this little beauty here. So without any further ado, switch the camera off. This of course is a Proxima PX1703. Proxima is reckoned to be one of the top 5 brands on AliExpress at the moment, and I hope to explain in part why that might well be the case. Let's get started with some dimensions. So for one, the case diameter is just about 40 millimeters with my rough measurements. Case thickness is about 12.5 millimeters to the top of the crystal. The lug width is 20 millimeters, and the bracelet tapers down to 16 millimeters at the clasp end. The all weight was 147 grams. Let's see, take the 3 links away, so 136. Not so bad. Made of very nice stainless steel, and so it's not a mega weight on your wrist, which is nice. Crystal is of course sapphire, and amazingly enough, you've got a sapphire bezel insert too, which is pretty fancy. On the topic of the bezel, with its lovely sapphire insert, it's a 120 click unidirectional, and it's quite smooth and light. It has a teensy bit of back play, and goes all the way around without complaint, apart from my clumsiness. And there we go. Yeah, and it does line up. What's more, if you consider the very small edge to it, it's very subdued, but it's very easy to use even for my chubby digits, so that's quite impressive. As for the bracelet, it's very, very nice. You have brushed centre links all the way through. I mentioned the clasp elsewhere. Very nicely made. I think that's milled. You've got obviously the milled clasp. You have the praying mantises on the case back. Oh no, it's a really well made piece. Also, considering what I paid for this, which wasn't cheap, but it just says quality to you. And we haven't mentioned a couple of other things yet, which we're going to do. I think the real star of the show is the dial. It should be an enamel dial with this nice orange ring around, the orange chapter ring I should say. The date window is slightly recessed and it's lovely and clear. But the other thing is the movement. It is a PT5000 like everybody else got, so it's got that nice little pop. I've got a couple of other watches with a PT5000, and this one is very smooth indeed. That is very impressive. I've heard that Proxima actually oil parts of their movements before they ship them, and I've got no doubt that that might be true. As for the accuracy, I won't put it on the time grapher today, but Proxima did send a very short video clip of this watch on a time grapher. It looked quite good, but in my experience you need to leave the watch on the time grapher for quite a while before it adjusts and gives you a more accurate measurement. But I have put it on. It's got great amplitude, almost no beat error, and currently it's losing about 2 or 3 seconds a day, which is perfectly satisfactory for a PT5000. So there we are. Here we are at a sort of intermediate stage of adjusting the bracelets on my fat little wrist. Top right, you can see the screwdriver that came with it, which is too big. A lot of people have said this, Luckily, I have lots of screwdrivers, for example, and I found one to fit the screw thread quite reasonably. So, on we go. Okay, well, I've got this sort of dismantled. I'll just show you some more features of the bracelet, which you may have seen in other reviews. The outer clasp isn't signed in any way, it's quite wide, or long if you prefer. But on the inside you have the branding, which is, yeah, right way up. It says Proxima and Omnium, which the Omnium looks more like onion, as I thought. Anyway, be that as it may, you have this nice push button adjust, and you can see the little ratchets here supposed to go into. So you push that, and it goes in. Push it, and it should, in theory, come out again. That's the idea anyway. So push it right down. As it's, yeah. It just happens every time. I've tried this 3 or 4 times off camera and it works perfectly. There you go. Goes with a very nice satisfying click. Okay, on we go. Do you prefer it on this black nylon strap? It's got a nice leather backing to it. Got this from NATO Belt. It's quite pretty really. Do you prefer it on this nice orange strap from the same shop as the black one? And again, I hope you'll agree it was worth the effort. When you're older, I'll tell you how long it took me to get the watch head back onto the bloody bracelet, because it has this end link here that you have to press it just right and get it in line with the lug holes. If you don't, I got it done once only to find that the lug hole was sticking out, which is not good at all really. Still, you know, that's me, Mr. Butterfingers. You can also see that the Lume's pretty impressive. I charged this up a few minutes ago, but it's still shining nicely, including that wonderful bezel insert. That's quite impressive. I've just got a bit of a nice late afternoon traffic noise. Outdoor shot of the Proxima BX1703. Quite nice, it looks good. There you have it. I think the Proxima is such a low-key sort of watch that you might ask, does it even qualify as a diver? Well, for comparison, I brought in my Steel Dive SD 1970. You can see it's quite a savage piece by comparison. And this also has a PT 5000. You compare that. Oh. Yeah, the winding's okay, but it just seems a little bit vague, and you've got to struggle with it sometimes. The other thing that the Proxima has going for it, it's a bit more of an original design. Obviously, the SD 1970 is a homage to the Seiko 6105 known as the Captain Willard. But for that matter though, even with the PT 5000 it costs considerably less than the Proxima. Well, if it's not a diver, in the truest sense of the word, is it a field watch? Let's compare it with the Tandoor on the right. Spookily enough, this also has a PT 5000, and I've had this one for just over 18 months, and the winding action isn't too bad on it. And it's kept pretty good time too, so I know some people moan a bit about the PT 5000, but I've had no worries with them so far, so there we go. Well, I don't know. Is the Proxima a field watch? Tell me what you think. Well, alright, if the Proxima isn't a diver, if it's not a field watch, is it a dress watch? Well, I wouldn't really say so. Compare that with the 36mm Boltony that I have. Used to be the most expensive AliExpress watch that I bought before I got the Proxima. That's not the point though. This is much more dressy in its way and a bit more vintage, and it's a bit slimmer, and unlike the other watches I've brought in, it doesn't have a PT 5000, it runs on the wonderful Miyota 9039. So, alright, well, we'll have to pigeonhole the Proxima yet. So, have I got any gripes about this watch? Well, not really. Ironically, I think it's the quality is so good, especially on the bracelet, that I had no trouble adjusting the bracelet for my size, this size, but getting the end links and things back onto the case afterwards was a horrifying faff. And other than that, now I've got a nice, really good fit on it with that on the fly adjust and what have you, and the links and everything. So, not really. I'm pretty pleased that I made this purchase. As I said, the customer service of the company is quite good, actually. I also bought this chronograph from them at the same time, and that's after a little bit of an issue to begin with. It's working wonderfully. It looks great too, I think. So yeah, I'd give Proxima a look at if I were you. Okay, then what are my last thoughts on this watch? Let's say nothing's ever perfect, but this is pretty close. Is it my last diver that I'll buy? I think so. I've got enough divers, particularly the Vostocks. They do just fine. One thing I would say in conclusion, now remember, I buy all my own watches. I'm only a small channel, very small, almost microscopic, haha. So I can say what I like about these things, and I don't really have anything negative to say about this in any serious way. My conclusion is it is an AliExpress watch, but it's a touch above the usual AliExpress quality. So I'll leave it there. In the meantime, I hope you're all having a great Sunday, and I wish you a fantastic week. Okay, cheers for now.